Welcome to Quick Bite, your fast and friendly Florida.
Hello. This is Roshonda with the Isom Insurance Group right here in the sunshine state of Florida. Back again, or welcome back to another Quick Bite episode, your fast and informative insurance market update. Today is Monday, December the 1st, 2025. Can you believe we're already into December and that this year is almost over? We're about to hit Christmas and the New Year's. It's just amazing. This year flew by. But in today's episode, we're talking about something that we all watch very closely here in Florida every single year, hurricane season. The NOAA art the NOAA article we're reviewing today is titled, actually it's an Insurance Journal article, and it's titled "The 2025 Atlantic Hurricane Season Goes Out Like a Little Lamb." This was one of the most unusual and surprising hurricane seasons in the last decade. We're going to break it down, what actually happened this year. We're going to talk about how strong the storms were. We are going to look at why the United States avoided a direct hit, what this means for homeowners and insurance heading into 2026. Let's get right into it. According to this Insurance Journal article, the NOAA says that for the first time in 10 years, not a single hurricane made landfall in the United States. That is a huge statistic, especially when you consider that Florida alone accounts for 40% of all U.S. hurricane landfalls historically. We were overdue for a break. Yes, we were. And yes, we actually got one this year. But that does not mean it was a quiet hurricane season. Let's talk about the numbers. According to the NOAA, the Atlantic Basin produced 13 named storms, 5 hurricanes, 4 major hurricanes, and 3 Category 5 hurricanes. To give you some perspective, the average hurricane season produces 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. So 2025 came in just slightly below average in terms of the total number of storms. But here is the surprise. We had 3 Category 5 storms, which is the second highest number ever recorded in a single season. Only one other year in history had more. So, yes, we avoided landfall, but we did not avoid major storm activity in the ocean. Here are the storms we saw this season. They were Andrea, Barry, Chantel, Dexter, Aaron, Fernanda, Gabriella, Huberto, Emilda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, and Melissa. These storms developed in different parts of the Atlantic. Some grew rapidly, some stayed far offshore, some impacted the Caribbean. And that leads us into the next major point. Neil Jacobs, the NOAA administrator, said that this season was definitely a break for the USA. He also said that storms still cause danger and damage even without landfall. For example, a tropical storm caused damage and casualties in the Carolinas. Hurricanes offshore created dangerous surf conditions. Property damage along the East Coast came from waves and beach erosion. So, this is a reminder that storms do not need to make landfall to cause financial losses. And something else made this hurricane season different. This is the very first year that the National Hurricane Center used artificial intelligence storm forecasting and official storm models. NOAA says that the AI system helped improve rapid intensification forecasting. Rapid intensification means when a storm increases its wind speed by at least 35 miles per hour in 24 hours. These storms are the hardest to predict. They are the most dangerous, and they can go from weak tropical storms to strong hurricanes in a very short time. The AI provided earlier forecasts. It gave more accurate timing, and it helped Caribbean countries prepare faster. So even though the storms missed the US, this was a major technology milestone. The hurricane season also relied on something most people never even heard about: hurricane reconnaissance flights. NOAA reported 417 flight hours into storms, 53 passes directly through hurricane eyes, and more than 1,300 scientific instruments dropped into storms. These flights provided the data that increases forecasting accuracy and insurance risk modeling. So, now the big question: what does all of this really mean for insurance? Here's the truth. When it comes to insurance, the insurance market reacts to exposure, not luck. Just because the storms did not hit us does not guarantee lower rates. Why? Because carriers still paid out billions nationally, coastal damage still triggered claims, reinsurance pricing is already set going into 2026, and weather trends continue to show stronger storms. This season does not fix the Florida insurance market, but it absolutely helps in one very important way. It prevented additional surcharges, catastrophic losses, and storm event fees. Now let's look at what this means for homeowners. Even though we did not get hit, the patterns tells us that storms are becoming more intense. The risk is not disappearing, it is shifting. Here are the top insurance takeaways. Know your hurricane deductible. Make sure you have replacement cost coverage. Understand your exclusions. Check your flood insurance, even if you're not in a flood zone. Many people do not realize that just one strong offshore storm can cause flooding, roof damage, broken windows, sewer backups, foundation cracks. And those are often exclusions if homeowners do not have the correct coverage. This season was a win, but it was not a win because we avoided strong storms. It was a win because the storms were steered away from the United States. That is weather, that is luck, that is timing. In other words, we avoided a major storm by geography, not because hurricane activity is slowing down. And NOAA makes that clear. This season is what I call a wake up without the disaster. It reminds us that storms can shift at any moment, weather patterns can change quickly, future seasons can look completely different, and even when the storms stay offshore, they still create risk, still cause damage, and still impact insurance rates. This article closes by highlighting just how unusual this hurricane season really was, especially considering we saw multiple major storms in the Atlantic and three Category 5 hurricanes, but not one making landfall in the United States. NOAA says weather patterns did the heavy lifting and pushing storms away from us. That's a reminder that next year could look totally different. If you found this quick bite helpful, please like this video, share with your friends, and drop a comment below with any insurance questions you'd like for me to address or cover in a future episode. And if you haven't reviewed your current policy in a while, or if this hurricane season made you realize you're not quite sure what's covered, this is the perfect time to schedule a policy review. We can walk you through your deductibles, exclusions, coverage amounts, and flood exposure to make sure you're protected before the next storm season even starts. Quick Bite episodes now drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as legal, tax, or specific insurance advice. Please consult a licensed insurance professional about your unique situation. This is Roshonda with the Isom Insurance Group here in sunny Florida. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe out there. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Visit us at isominsurancegroup.com.